we will be learning about various string functions in SQL. Just like we learned a numeric functions, we will be even learning the string functions with the help of our dummy dual table. There are several string functions, out of which we will learn a few like length of a string, then size, lower, upper, init cap. Okay. So we learn in groups of 5. Okay. So we'll just learn all these together. Length, size, lower, upper, and init cap. So I'll do one by one over here. So length means, as the name itself, you get to know the length of a string. So I'll write over here, select length of, in single quotes, whichever string's length you want to find out, you will type it over here. Okay, I want to find the length of a bottle because then I just have a bottle here in front of me. Select length of bottle from dual. Just copy paste it over here. So it tells me that the length of this particular string is 6. Okay, I can even give something like this, so that I can store it in a, I can have a heading like that. Midila, mute. Okay, so instead of getting length of bottle, I will get it like LB. So this is how you calculate the length of a bottle. Okay, the same way you have a function called vsize. Vsize will give you how many bytes. Okay, how many bytes this particular word is taking in your Oracle for storage. That is what we mean by vsize. I'll just copy paste it over here. Select vsize. So as of it, 6 bytes are being occupied. So that is what is meant by vsize. Next, we learn a very simple function called lower. Okay, I'll give a name called low. And let's see how low works in SQL. Just copy this from here and paste it over here. Okay. How this lower works is, in case you have any capital letters, they will be converted into small letters. In case. Okay, so let's check this. What will happen over here? I'll just copy. As of now, look here, you don't have any capital letters. A bottle, everything is small. Okay, so nothing happens to my string. So in lower function, what happens is, in case you have any capital letters, they are converted into your. I'm sorry, I went mute. The reverse happens in upper. Upper, what happens is, in case you have any small letters, they will be converted to your upper. I'll just copy this from here. I'll put it over here. Okay, look here. All were small. So what happened is, everything is converted to upper. So I'll just imagine I have something like this. Only the small letters will be converted to capital letters. The capital letters will remain the same. So just copy this and paste it over here. Okay. The small letters, they are converted to capital. The capitals, they will remain the same. Now we'll see one more function called init cap. Now, init cap, actually, it will work when you have more than one word. Like, in your Microsoft Word, you have that option, isn't it? Word case. Each and every word's initial character, that will be made as a capital. The initial letter of each word will be made a capital. For example, this bottle. Imagine I have a word like this bottle. Okay. And I am having it in something called, so let's see what happens. So it's two words. It is two words. So here what will happen is the initial letter of each word, that will be made a capital. Okay. So it's two words differentiated by a space. The first word's first letter will be made a capital, and the second word's first letter, that will also be made a capital. Imagine you had only a single word. That particular word's initial letter will also be made a capital. So this is what you mean by init cap. I'll just copy this and put it over here. Okay. So how many ever words you have, the first letter of each word, that will be made a capital letter. We'll see a next set. We'll see something called substring, ASCII, INSTR, translate. Okay, a linked. So we'll see these one by one. Substring, ASCII, INSTR, and then translate. So the first we will see about substring. STR is substring. Now, before we learn what is a substring, let's imagine you do have a string called participant. I just took the word participant because, on my toolbar below Zoom, I saw a word called participant. Now, this is a string. Now, imagine I want a substring. I can say, like, starting from the third character. Starting from the third character, take 4 characters. Okay. Like, in your data structures, in your C lab and all, you might be writing programs for this. Okay. Starting from a particular character in a string, extract a 3 characters or a 4 characters or so on. But, interestingly, in Oracle, you just directly have a function for that to extract a substring from a particular string. So let's see how we do that. Okay, you write it like this: select substr. Let's say I have this word called participant. Okay, I'm planning to say from the second character, take a 3 characters or a 4 characters from dual. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'll copy this and paste it over here. Okay, so starting from the second character, starting from my second character, take 4 characters. So this is what you mean by substring. Starting from my second character, take 4 characters. Imagine, you give the reverse, 4, 2. Let's see what happens. Now, type in a chat box what might be the result. All of you type in a chat box. All of you are correct. You will get TI. Starting from my 4th character. My 4th character is T. Take 2 characters. TI. Okay. So that is how you calculate a substring from a particular string. Now let's see ASCII. ASCII is very simple. You get the ASCII code. You get the ASCII code of a character. Let's say A. I want to find the ASCII code of A. I can simply give select ASCII of A. As we all know, ASCII of A, they gave capital A. No, small a is 97. Yeah. It's correct. Small a is 97 and capital A 65. Small a and capital A, they do have different ASCII values. Okay, you know, here it comes like this because in everything, all your field names, it will always be in capital letter. Small a, the ASCII value is 97, capital A, the ASCII value is 65. So that is how you calculate the ASCII value. Okay. Now next, we'll see an interesting function called INSTR. INSTR actually helps you to find the occurrence. It helps you to find the occurrence of a particular character or the substring in a long string. So let's say I'll give something like select INSTR of, I'll give my same thing, participant. Okay, and I need to find out the occurrence of, let's say, A. The occurrence of A from Q. If you look here carefully, you have two A's. You have two A's over here, one A, and over here, one A. Let's see what Oracle will do for that. Just copy. Okay, so the first occurrence is the second position. Okay, so INSTR, it gives you the first occurrence of a particular substring. Or, you know, imagine let's have a longer string. Okay, let's have a longer string like, let's say, this is a toy. Okay, and I need to find the occurrence of a capital T. Okay. The capital T happens here and here, but the first occurrence is in my position number 1, so that gets displayed. Now, you know, not only a character, you can even find out the occurrence of a substring. Let's say I give TO instead of simply T, I give a TO. Let's see what will happen. It gives me 11. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 here. TO, it happens in my 11th position. So not only of a character, you can even find out the occurrence of a substring in a given long string. We'll see a very interesting thing called translate. Okay, so, you know, select translate. Let's say we'll go for that same participant. Now, translate is similar to your replace. In your Word, you do have an option, isn't it? Replace, find and replace. Find something and then replace it with some other character or anything. The same way here, you use a function called translate to replace. Like, you know, imagine I want to replace A with something else. Let's say I have a character called A, and wherever I do have A, I don't want A anymore. Instead, let's say I want a percentage to happen. So I write like this. In the word participant, find out all my A's, my small A's, and then replace it with a percentage from dual. So let's see what happens. So they find out all my A's. I have A's in 2 places, here and here. All those are replaced with percentages. Now imagine I give something like this. Wherever I have an A, replace it with percentage star U. Or, you know, I just gave some random presses on my keyboard. Wherever I have an A, replace it with percentage star and a U. Okay, so type in your chat box what might be the result. Now, if you look into the result, see, I've told to replace A with 3 things, percentage, star, and U. But what will happen is, look here, A is just a single character. So how many ever characters you give over here, be it even a 10 length character, Because this A is only a single character, only the first character over here will be taken, and a replacement will happen only with that. Okay, so that is how, even if you give a long string for replacement in Oracle, because you have given this A as a single character, only the first character over here will be taken for replacement. Let's say I give something like AIT. Okay, so look here, this length is same and this length is same. I just gave a three random letters. A I gave. A I have in two places. I have again in two places. Okay, T also I have it in two places. I just gave randomly. So the length is same. AIT percentage star U. But mind you, AIT doesn't happen continuous. Okay, let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. So now here what happens is all the A's, they are replaced with percentage. All the I's, they are replaced with star. All the T, they are replaced with U. So you get something like, Greek and Latin over here. All the A, they are replaced with percentage. All the I, they are replaced with star. Okay, I had two I's over here, before and after C. They are replaced with star. And then I even have a T. T I had in two places. One was after the R and one was the last. Both of them got replaced with U. Okay, so now let me give something like this, ART. ART. Okay, look here. ART is actually, if you look over here, it is a substring. ART. It comes together. ART. Let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. Copy over here and paste. Okay, so look here, ART, that got replaced with percentage star U. But that same logic again it will follow. All the A's will be replaced by percentage. I even had an A over here, that will be replaced by percentage. All the R's which I have, that will be replaced with star. I only have one R. And all the T's which I had, they will be replaced with a U. Okay, so this is what happens when you give a substring, when you give a string. Now we'll see trimming functions. Trimming string functions in SQL. There are actually three trim functions: trim, left trim, and right trim. Okay, there are three trimming functions to take care of your strings in SQL: trim, L trim, and right trim. Right trim. Okay, we will see one by one. Okay, so we'll first see left trim. Trim we'll see next. Okay, we'll first see left trim. Now, I hope you understand what do you mean by trimming. Like you trim your beard, isn't it? You trim your hair. It's nothing but cutting. Okay, so trim is nothing but helps in cutting away some length of your string. So let's see how these L trims work. Select L trim. You'll give a string from dual. Okay, now let's come over here. Left trim. So I do have a word called meeting. Okay, now left trim means you look onto the left side, and then in the left side you can do a cutting. Let's say I'm giving this. Okay, so what happens over here is, in this particular meeting, in the leftmost, if I have an M, that will be cut away. Let's see the result. You'll get an idea. Okay, so in the word called meeting, I'm telling them in the left side, trim M. So if this M is there, it will be trimmed. Now, let's say I give a letter called E. Left trim, meeting E. I'll just paste it over here. And let's see what happens. So, as I told you earlier, in the word called meeting, find the leftmost E. Find the leftmost small e, and if there is a small e, cut it off. Find the leftmost, and if there is an e, cut it off. Nothing will happen because leftmost, you do have an M. You don't have a small e. So this is what happens in left trim. Let's see, R trim. We'll do the same thing, R trim. So in your chat box, type the answer of what will come as right trim meeting. So I'll go again. Right trim, you check for your rightmost, and if you have a G, that will be trimmed. Look here, I gave meeting to trim E. So that word meeting is taken, the last character is checked G. G is not an E, so nothing happens. I get it as it is. But look here, the second one, the last is G, and I've told to cut a G, so that G will be cut off or trimmed, and I will be getting the word meeting without a G. Left trims, it trims only your left. Right trim, it trims only your right. Imagine you want to do both sides together. Okay, you will do trim. So let's see how trim works. Trim actually, it works a bit different. Okay, so imagine I do have a string like this. I'll just go for a random, let's say X meeting, and then even I have some X's in the beginning and some X's in the end, and then I want to remove all these X's. So I write like this. It's a bit different from your usual trim functions. Select trim. This is your usual. Now, look here. You have X's on both sides. You have X on this side and even on this side, on the left and on the right. You want to trim from both sides. So you do have a keyword called both. Okay, so I'll write over here, both, from both sides, capital or small letter, anything is fine. Both. Okay, I'm looking on the X. Okay, from the both sides, from which string? From the string called this particular thing, triple X meeting, so on. So I give away a select trim from both sides. Trim away X from which string? From which string? This long string. Let's see how it works. I'll copy and paste over here. Okay, so from both sides, I did trim away my X. Okay, now imagine you don't want to trim from both sides. You want to trim only one side. So I'll get leading. Okay, you have a keyword. Both is a keyword. Leading is a keyword. Trailing is a keyword. Okay, all these are keywords. I'll just show you one. The remaining you can do. So let's see what happens over here. Okay, so all my leading is actually onto the left. Trailing is actually onto the right. Trailing is something which comes after. Leading is something which comes before the leading. The first one is leading. Okay, so what I've told over here, all the leading X, take it away. So this much portion, this X is taken away. How many ever X's are there? All those are being taken away. So that is how you work on trim. Left trim, only the left side. R trim, only on the right side. Trim. Next, we'll see padding functions. Padding functions in SQL. We have two, lpad, right pad. Okay. Padding, as you all know, is stuffing. Stuffing in some characters, you call it as padding. It's very easy. Let's see an example. Select LPadd. Let's say I have a string called screen. Screen. It isn't complete. I'll just write the structure first. Okay. Now let's see how you work with the left padding. Now imagine I have a word called screen. If you look over here, screen is actually 6 letters. Okay. Screen is 6 letters. Now I can go on padding it. Let's say I can add 4 more. I can add 4 more letters, and in total this becomes up to 10. Okay. So I'll write over here the screen word, make it a 10-letter word, make it a 10-letter word, and then the remaining stuff, make it fill it up with star and single quotes. Okay, so let's see what happens. I've given left padding. I'm giving in a left padding. So what will happen is onto the left side of screen. Okay, onto the left side of screen, it will be padded with star. Okay. As I told you, screen is only 6 letters. So, I'm adding an extra 4. So that 4 is over here, and all those are padded with star. Similarly, RPadd. RPadd, the exact logic is the same. Only thing is, instead of padding onto your left side, you pad it on to your right side. Okay, 6 letters plus my extra 4 letters, the total becomes 10, and then I pad it up with my star. Okay, so let's do something else. Let's pad it up with star ampersand. Okay, so the same thing, I'm doing a right padding. Now what I'm planning to do is, instead of a single star, I'm planning to pad it with star ampersand. Okay, so extra star ampersand, but at the end of the day, still my length will only be 10. I added 4 letters, but because I had this star ampersand, it just came twice, a star ampersand, a star ampersand. The end of the day, it is just 10. Now imagine you did something like this. Let's say 5. Okay, you will think it to be a bit illogical, isn't it? You have a word of 6 letters, and you're telling the end should be 5, and then you're even telling to do a padding. Let's see. You will get it cut up till 5th character. This 6th character would be left out.